Scene 1. The cinematic opening. Visual. Slow motion shot. Red wine pouring into a golden goblet. In the background, the faint sound of crackling fire and barking hounds. Music. Dark, mysterious, and grand orchestral. Narrator. Imagine, if you will, a disease once considered a badge of honor. A malady reserved strictly for those who sat upon golden thrones and whose banquet tables groaned under the weight of roasted meats and endless spirits. Narrator. We are talking about gout, infamously known as the disease of kings. But behind this royal prestige lay a pain so excruciating it could make a monarch beg for mercy. Today, on Weird History, we uncover the dark and bizarre chronicles of gout, from kidney roasts, used as cures, to a pain so sensitive that even the weight of a silk sheet felt like a death sentence. Scene 2. The anatomy of excruciating pain. Visual. 17th century medical sketches. A portrait of Thomas Sydenham appears. Text overlay. The father of English medicine. Narrator. Thomas Sydenham, the renowned 17th century physician, captured this agony in words. He described a gout attack as so exquisite that the patient cannot endure the weight of their own clothes, nor even the vibration of someone walking briskly across the room. Visual. Animation. Uric acid crystals settling into joints like shards of broken glass. Narrator. Modern science identifies these as uric acid crystals, microscopic needles stabbing into the joints. But a 19th century clergyman, Reverend Sidney Smith, perhaps put it best. He said that walking with a gout flare-up felt like walking on eyeballs. Scene 3. The status symbol, the humble brag. Visual. Split screen, peasants eating simple porridge versus a gluttonous king feasting on rich meats. Narrator. Interestingly, in the halls of history, gout wasn't a source of shame, it was a source of pride. Why? Because it was living proof that you were wealthy enough to avoid the fit lifestyle of the poor. Narrator. In 1900, the London Times noted that a gout diagnosis instantly elevated a patient's social status. Today's influencers might chase the blue checkmark, but the original influencers of the past flaunted gouty feet. Hashtag meat foot was the ultimate status symbol of the elite. Scene 4. Horror remedies, the kidney turducken. Visual. An ancient medical tome opens. Screen text. The year 1518. Dark, unsettling music. Narrator. But when the royal pain became unbearable, the attempted cures were nothing short of a horror film. A medical text from 1518 suggests a recipe that would be a criminal offense today. Narrator. Physician Lorenz Fries prescribed, take a fat goose and stuff it with chopped kittens, lard, incense, and rye flour. The grease rendered from this terrifying, kitten-stuffed goose, was then rubbed onto the aching joints. Narrator. Fortunately, we live in the 21st century, where medical treatment doesn't involve roasting the family pet. Scene 5. Gout, the history changer. Visual. Historical map animation. Sketches of the American Revolution. Narrator. Gout didn't just grip big toes, it gripped the fate of nations. In 1764, British statesman William Pitt the Elder missed a crucial parliamentary meeting due to a gout attack. The result, the tea tax, was passed, leading directly to the Boston Tea Party. Visual. Portraits of Henry VIII and Emperor Charles V. Narrator. From the legendary temper of King Henry VIII to Emperor Charles V abandoning the battlefield, gout was the silent architect of history. Charles V famously abdicated his throne, essentially saying, "Don't blame me, blame my gout," before retiring to a monastery in defeat. Scene 6. The glass boot and flannel fashion. Visual. Photos of bizarre old medical equipment. A strange glass boot device appears on screen. Narrator. Doctors tried everything to soothe the flame, from gout stools to wrapping feet in thick flannel. But the most dangerous invention was the glass boot. In the early 20th century, doctors used this device to apply intense heat. Narrator. However, this often proved fatal. The heat could dislodge the uric acid crystals, sending them straight to the kidneys, causing total organ failure and death. Scene 7. Modern reality. Visual. Fast cuts of modern fast food, beer, and a doctor's office. Narrator. Today, gout is no longer a royal exclusive. In the United States alone, over 8.3 million people suffer from it. Our modern diet of processed sugars and rich foods has brought this ancient curse back into the mainstream. Narrator. From Hollywood actors like Jared Leto to political figures like Dick Cheney, gout continues to strike with the same ferocity it did in the days of Hippocrates. The only difference, we now have the cure, and it doesn't involve kittens. Scene 8. Conclusion and call to action. Visual. Host appears on screen or a final powerful montage of the discussed figures. Narrator. So, have you ever felt the sting of this royal curse? Do you think our modern lifestyle is making us the new gout generation? Let us know in the comments below.